seiku yahereze kucunguri egeseza abantu kwetorora Uganda bayeka kutirentase kurukoma katwejumbiro mkutunguri yanga Deberi izoba tuisha kumsima tukirwi keminyeto kabishi kurukutungwa rukutwelembera na tukunda na tuendeza na tuhabura mtoza Kulwabana bafe n'abasukulu tukikola lwa kusima muze kulwaba ennyumba zaffe kulw'emirimu kyaffe n'emmali yaffe muze luwalabu yakyalina kasi kulwa katonda waffe n'eddiini zaffe olabyeko ye mwana muze
ensonga ddembe eddembe musi yaffe twafuna eddembe tukikolera ddembe
asante baba
sebo sebo
papa
sebo
weanzisa sebo
sebo sebo
otuje wala
sebo sebo sebo
nekwanga
sebo sebo sebo
asante baba
sebo sebo sebo
weanzisa
sebo sebo sebo
otuje wala
sebo sebo sebo
nekwanga
sebo sebo
emirimu maaso okwata obwake obajokuzaitula kutebera ebifeto kaluluke nkuwaluno kagamba nagisaki asemagine uganda daliwitauti awayu emiboifulikududibonapikiyudali bafenimundu waike Museveni to the moon tibuhabula mulonza tesiwawula
We see a better future. We look back where we coming from. See us standing for. It is us our fortune.
tova kumene jagala kweza berozi oli mukolezi kayana zazufolo oshani fiti acting like fine so sweet zedabo kumbalozi waike Museveni oli baby boy sole 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 abachomo sole sole usei pole pole tuli nawe bandika kazole wendeka kweye fengende nani Betuli nawe Walife nae kuzi kubega Kalamu ino kumbalo Ugenda kuloda Kuloda muzeyi Nambibuga kampala Wezana hile walala Kayero kotu kampala Basiwa savans Lawyer doctor Noli teacher kambachi Kuloda muzeyi Awekwele nawe Kosaba isi bagamba Keri kusunda namba Tuloda muzeyi Wanabitone bagamba chimu Bavubuka na bakade bagamba Keri kusunda namba Tuloda muzeyi Northern Uganda Western Uganda Central Uganda Tuloda muzeyi Western Uganda Those in the diaspora Kabe mwana kao muzade Tuloda muzeyi Let me see hands up if you love it. Let me see hands up if you love it. Clap for us. Show. Let me see. She got energy. Waliwo chairman kuchaleyo ekula lya Afrika w'amaanyi musajja mulungi nnyo avudde kulali afiiridde ensonga Yoweri akuweera omugambo ogenda eri omugambo twala eri kyemaani yatusanga
Kamamu ebiranda olw'obulamu obubiro naye kyamaani alongoosa akalo labayo oyomuwanyumirwa akalo
enguudo zimasanjala tova ku main express highway wadde fege
Everybody sing with us. Sing with us.
ensonga Yoweri
Abantu Yoweri Sacha Mukama
Tibuha bulwa kyeyatiibwa everybody say Tibuha bulwa yagala Tibuha bulwa kyeyatiibwa Tibuha bulwa omukono gwa kyeyamaani leero kakutabuke leero kakutabuke omukono gwa kyeyamaani leero kakutabuke leero kakutabuke
Yeyagala Kabuta Museveni
Uganda sabakumi otuweze banja omuzira tata aluhaga siwe papa otujje wala otukuluddeyo mukuba
Twende
twandibadde waffe wotalitano eno Uganda yandibadde wa tiimu tuli bulungi lwakubanga obaddewo
Bagamba
genda kutekinga basi akalulu kenyanka genda kuvotinga nze kulwa Uganda yaffe eno n'ebiseera ebyomaaso genda kutikinga basi akalulu keninanka wadde wa kikofiira genda kuvotinga nze kulwa Uganda yaffe eno n'ebiseera obuziira bweamanyi wamusika gutayongera ddati olwera olumanya ensonda okwata ku kasikuba ddati obuziira bw'ebbanga lengera mu maaso genda kutikinga basi akalulu keninanka wadde wa kikofiira voti genda kuvotinga muzeeri wa Uganda yaffe eno n'ebiseera ebyomaaso genda kutikinga basi akalulu keninanka wadde wa kikofiira voti genda kuvotinga muzeeri kulwa Uganda yaffe eno n'ebiseera ebyomaaso Uganda eno teme mungalo mandaba tegenda kutomera namuga polapola abayaye tebatutomesa netuziika eggwanga nga terikyakula gwanga nagina emirembe nakyo tukyetaaga nnyo ekulakulana eryo mukana akalulu tuwabire eggwanga twagala sobola
yakikutemu yakitegeera
ekikofiira
yakikutemu yakitegeera yakikutemu yakitegeera yakikutemu yakitegeera
yakikuddemu yakitegeera yakikuddemu yakitegeera yakikuddemu yakitegeera yakikuddemu yakitegeera akalulu kennina kawadde wakikofiira voti genda kuvotinga muze kuba Uganda yafeero n'ebiseera eby'omaaso genda kuvotinga pasi akalulu kennina kawadde wakikofiira voti genda kuvotinga muze kuba Uganda yafeero n'ebiseera kuba if you love it, let's say yakibaddemu yakitegeera yakibaddemu yakitegeera
We, the keepers of Uganda's songs and stories, stand before you, Your Excellency, with hearts full of gratitude and vision. As creatives, we vow to guard this bond, to sing it, to dance it, and live it. We pledge our hands, our art, our voices, in unity, in loyalty, in support of your leadership, believing that continuity is strength and that your vision is Uganda's future. This is our vow. This is our pledge.
Mwenangwe rutatina jura rwange kojo bakatira mweka nugeza abana byo kurusa kugala kikiro bakazare manzi yamanzi kari mu Uganda yellow way yellow ni Museveni way
omwaka kinana na mukaga
Remozi wotuchende
keisha kuite mundu ye
Nambia Remozi wotuchende
Museveni
Nambia
wewe bare kuisha
yellow way yellow ni Museveni Karwanga na Museveni
Akaruru tukateriwe
Niwomba mwenye kuta
Emanzi ya wona
Niwomba manzi ya wona Sumita
Tulinayo weri Kamara verona
Niwomba rukuteleza byona mani
Museveni Yoweri Museveni
Muzayi
Imurebe Owo muri mundu
Yara
Gasaba bangu bosi Indi mumukope Yoweri Museveni Nimurebe
Muzeyi mwenu wabikozire Uganda yategiye Mureke tweziniriture Otyo Itano ni Yabare muzeyi
Uganda ne yakayaka
Turakukunda we Yela kutukushachike we Wasandikire mara yo wesa Museveni turakukunda we Kutukushachike we Chile iburo
Muzeyi ni murungi Muzeyi ni murungi Ndakora kurungi Muzeyi ni murungi Okozire kurungi Okalibwa ni murungi
Yellow ni Museveni
Kiseje dai puga de patengo benya kasepolo. Eka kone kunyuna se onaingo benya kasepolo. Papa yo irika buta kwa kasepolo. Yo ke polondo, mine polondo, mini tunga kere anyumo. Emina turmu na ke oba anyumo. Emina lwatu do oba anyumo. Emina kwa poko sikere Uganda. Iwanyi roti necha yete. Ade kisi swama ete. Ivan kitori na ngai. Pidi e maso ato. Mami bore tiono. Ase utingesi bobo. Eka kwa na dolo na se ona ingo benya kasepolo. Kiseje dai puga de patengo benya kasepolo. Eka kwa ne kunyu na se ona ingo benya kasepolo. Papa yo erika puta kwa kasepolo.
Museveni Chua Kaguta Chua Agoboro emuvoni be Museveni Chua Ogoro emuvoni be Museveni Chua Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Chua Yoweri Kaguta Museveni Chua
Papa yo irika buta kwa kasepolo.
Nati mokuchi mubinu kanyoto kun mwa wa iwo. Lembe mokuchi machogu kanyoto kun mwa no. One no fundamental change, socio-economic transformation, Pan-Africanism.
Emuri akoliai.
This is Superstar Friday on 933 KFM.
Poloni kabota atoele gele nyaka poloni mudebe Ibole makala Ibole no kicholo Ibole makala Ibole mama Marielo baba Marielo Anna tota yelo keno bero tekwaroa utia benoche Uganda wani noche, como tia be noche, ilan waka noche, tia be noche, cara moja kucha noche, tia be noche, ia choli kan noche, leyin weker biotono, ngom cheni yelo, amla kilong poche geni gomiba, ngondo gibe, Museveni shua, Kaguta shua. Young you welcome sure for your day sure. One bell party bell boca in not the dawn. You know not carry by. One come wet by. Don't walk carry by. One do you wet by. Ibole look at your
Thank you. Walakara no oi. Thank you so much. Walakara. God bless you.
Museveni, mwegalulu, niyo wefe. Awiremo bumulonde. Seyiwe formula yi. Awiremo bumulonde. Alidali nambo. Awiremo bumulonde. Ababa PDM. Awiremo bumulonde. Mwenze kanubone. Awiremo bumulonde. Akanali namboli. Awiremo bumulonde. Wamanya security. Awiremo bumulonde. Ninase mukana. Awiremo bumulonde. Abamenyanga kumuwe. Awiremo bumulonde. Muzeyi Museveni. Awiremo bumulonde. Yoweri Kakuta. Awiremo bumulonde. Manya kuna baniko. Awiremo bumulonde. Akanali namboli. Awiremo bumulonde. Ayogera shakola. Awiremo bumulonde. Nasabire busani. Awiremo bumulonde. Niyakana banga Uganda. Awiremo bumulonde. Amanyani namboli. Awiremo bumulonde. Awiremo bumulonde.
Ira Uganda ngasiyo bamukale kane. Singubona ibintu byashuka ibiringa kale. Mirembe kwafuna. Bona ndi upigira n'abasoma. Tekinoloji inayongera. Ezitalo pao kunduma. Uganda gikomesa. Nibani wanabikomba. Etasima ebumajwa. Uyu mseto weshisa. Iyo mseto.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Iyo weni.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Weni nyama.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Mwene yo.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Iyo ni ekuka.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Iyo ni epapa.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Mwene yo.
Awiremo bumulonde.
Muzeyi tugeze okuzanyisa entebe kuba tetwagala kutuze mu ntalo. Abayimbi b'akadongo kamu twegasse wamu okukwebaza emirimu gy'okola. Eno Uganda gy'ogijje twali mubi wabula muzeyi weebale. Entalo zaakoma booda ku booda emirembe gyabuna. Ebirwadde byagemwa n'abo abakuvuganya kasita baakula. Muwabula kyetukulonja kimu bwe butaleka ntebe yaffe ddibe wa mafiya. Ng'oliba ogikoye wumula ng'ogikwasa omulala ogwo batendeka. Muzeyi twogeza okuzanyisa entebe kuba tetwagala kutuza mu ntalo. Tusaana tukuume bye tutuuseeko tweyongereyo nga tukula. Ngambe twogeza okuzanyisa entebe akadde akagirinze gaweze enkumu. Tusaana tukuume bye tutuuseeko abaana bakufe twatambwa.
Abantu ba Mukama tusaana tweyagaleko. Eddembe ly'okusinza mu Uganda lyali luddawa. Muzeyi weebale bannayuganda okutulowoozaako. Mu kigambo ky'okwekulaakulanya obwavu n'obutukwatirako. Katukole ekimu kumwebaza muzeyi weebale. Muzeyi weebale. Bintu byatukoledde byo birabwa kituufu byeyogerera. Muzeyi weebale. Osanira ofuke kakuta waffe yatwatusobola. Muzeyi weebale. Katusabe ekimu Katonda waffe akutukumye. Muzeyi weebale. Abakyala tulina kwebaza kuba twali bubi mu byase byayita. Omukazi okugenda n'akola nga kiba ng'ekive mu bantu ba wano. Kulembera Muzeyi Museveni tunyweza eddembe ne twafuna. Bwe watuuka ku bajaasi b'ensi eno n'ekutikkira. Muzeyi osobola wewazaamu obwakabaka obwali busaasaanye. Muzeyi osobola.
The national chairman and His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda is arriving. We shall stand up, give him the necessary vibe. We shall wave whatever you have.
Yes, indeed. Let us give him the resounding applause, the resounding welcome, as we welcome the chairman of the NRM party and our future nominee to carry the flag to becoming the next president
of the Republic of Uganda.
Tubikolenga lujera Muse asamba chenda Achite mwera Tubide mwera Tubide mmusei Tubikolenga lujera Muse asamba chenda Achite mwera Achite mmusei Achikwate mwera Taja samba chenda
Wensi yafe Uganda ebyomu maaso n'ebirija kulw'abaana baffe n'abazzukulu tukikola lwa kusiima muzeeyi kulw'ab'ennyumba zaffe kulw'emirimu gyaffe n'emmaali yaffe muzeeyi walayi yakyalina gasi kulwa katonda waffe n'eddiini zaffe olabyeko ye mwana muzeeyi what
ensonga ddembe eddembe musi yaffe twafuna eddembe tukikoze lwa ddembe
Asante Baba
That has been marvelous. Exit from the fora, and can we have the anthems? shall have the prayers. The Christian faith will be represented by Pastor Vijingo, and then the Muslim faith is going to be represented by Sheikh Abdul Kadiri Sematiko. You are most welcome.
Oweekitiibwa President nja kusaba otuuleko mukama waffe ne maama. Bismillahi rrahmani rrahim. Ayi Katonda waffe obuyinza gw'otukuŋŋaanyiza mu kifo kino eky'emirembe nga gw'oli mirembe egisembayo mu nsi eno. Tuyimiridde wano ffe abaddu bo n'abazaana bo ng'ekituleese wano okukakasa omuddu wo Yoweri Kaguta Museveni addemu akulembere Uganda. Tusaba emirembe okuva gy'oli egikuuma muzeeyi waffe okubeerawo emirembe mu nsi muno, omuwa obuwangazi obulungi, omuwa amagezi, era amagezi g'abadde alina omwongereko ebintu byakoze ku 10 yakakolako 7. Tusaba nate ekisanja kino ekiddako ate n'asatu agasigaddeyo tugamalirize ng'okukola enguudo n'okukola buli kimu kyonna ekiyimirizaawo eggwanga lyaffe. Ayi Katonda watugamba nti senga mwena neebaza nja kubongera. Ayi Katonda tusiimye olw'obulamu obulungi bwe watuwa n'omukulembeze omulungi gwe watuwa awuliriza asakira abantu. Tusaba Katonda omukuume omuwa obulamu obulungi. Manifesto yaffe eno gyagenda okutongoza etugase egase eggwanga lyonna okutwaliza awamu. Bakadde baffe mwenna abazze wano tusaba bakwatira ku Pulezidenti, Vice President ne Prime Minister n'abalala nammwe Katonda abawa obulamu obulungi era abamalire. Naffe atuwa obulamu obulungi ku lunaku luli buli muntu ali wano alonde Yoweri Kaguta Museveni addemu akulembere eggwanga. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتوب علينا يا مولانا منا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. تسبا ميرمبي انت عندك ميرمبي ننكو ميرمبي. آمين آمين آمين.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this great day. Thank you for keeping our dear parents, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and our mother, the mother of the nation, Mama Janet Museveni. Thank you for the gift of life that you've given to them. Thank you for the entire cabinet. Thank you for everyone that is in this place. And we thank you for the peace that is everywhere in all parts of this country. That's among the gains, Father, that we want to protect. The peace that is from border to border. We have come here, Lord, for purposes of launching the manifesto. The Bible teaches in the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 9, that a man's heart plans his way, but only the Lord guides the steps. Dear Lord, accept this manifesto. Guide the steps of our leader. Give him good health. Give him favor. It's you, Lord, who gives favor, and whom you give favor obtains favor before men. Let His Excellency obtain favor before you and before all men, in that whoever thinks of voting thinks of the peace that you led him to give to this nation. We have all the peace, we have all the freedoms, the freedom of worship. This country was given to you, it's in your hands. That's why even right now, before everything to be done, we have prayed. Father, we pray that you take charge. Holy Spirit, take charge. Take charge of every word that is going to be spoken here. Take charge of the lives that are in this place. We know there is security, but send the angels to guard all of us. Send the angels, Father, assign them to guard our fountain of honor as it traverses the whole nation, to be safe. Give him good health. Give him wisdom. You give wisdom. You gave wisdom to Solomon, the king. You have given His Excellency wisdom for the last 40 years, and you have given him strength. Double it, Father, we pray. We pray, Father, that as the manifesto is being launched today, let every man in this nation understand what the manifesto says, and give us the blessings to add on what you have given us, what we are protecting us again. Lord, take charge of the food, take charge of the drinks, take charge of everything. Let all go well, and at the end of the day, we shall give you all the glory. We have prayed for that in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Another round of applause to God. Your Excellency and Mama, you are most welcome to this very auspicious occasion. And our next item on the agenda is the Secretary General giving his remarks and introducing the members and giving his remarks. Secretary General, you are most welcome.
God bless you.
Thank you. For those who might not know, that song glorifies God. It praises God for opening our way and making sure there are no hindrances on our path. Thank you. May we resume our seat? Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda and the National Chairman of the National Resistance Movement Party, Mama, the First Lady,
Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, the first National Vice Chairman of the party, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, the second National Vice Chairperson of the party, Right Honorable Anite Annette Among, members of the Central Executive Committee who are here, I will introduce you one by one. Your Excellency, the Vice President Emeritus, Dr. Speciosa Kazibwe, ministers who are here, members of Parliament, my colleagues from the party head office, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this very noble and very powerful function on behalf of the party. Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to introduce members of the Central Executive Committee one by one. Because from the time they were elected, I'm sure many might have not said even hello to members of their leagues. We have with us the national chairman of the party and our presidential candidate, who is none other than His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the chairman of the Central Executive Committee. We have the first national vice chairman of the party, Alhaji Moses Chigongo. Thank you so much, Muzee. We have the second national vice chairperson of the party, Right Honorable Anite Annette Among. We have Her Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Uganda, who is a member of the Central Executive Committee of the party, Mama Jessica Alupo. Thank you so much. We have the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda. Thank you so much for coming. We have the Regional Vice Chairman for the party. I start with the Honorable Aruna Kasolo, representing Central Region. We have Honorable Calvin Echodo, representing Eastern Region. We have Mr. Uhuru Salim, representing Kampala. We have Mr. Asim Joanat, representing Western Uganda. Apologies from Honorable Amson Oboa, representing Northern Uganda. He will be joining us a little shortly. Mr. President, allow me to introduce the SEC members representing the leagues. Oh, Karamoja, I wanted to know whether you are alert. Comrade Dr. Loki John Baptist. Karamoja oye. Mata. Thank you. May I introduce the members representing the leagues? We have Comrade Tanga Collins, representing the youth. We have Aji Mwanje Shafiq, representing persons with disabilities. We have Aji Basaja Balaba, representing the entrepreneurs. We have retired Lieutenant Moses Mushabe, representing veterans. We have Honorable Mama Penny Businje, representing the elders. In the House, we have the Women's League, the executives, because the chair of the Women's League is absent. The Women's League executive is here represented by Mama Enid Mesije and all the executives of the league. Please, may you rise up for recognition. We have Andrew Yonorumumba Todwong, that one is, you know, and the rest. Your Excellency, allow me to introduce my colleagues from the party head office. Oh, sorry. Workers, workers, workers. Honorable Rwakajara Arenaitwe, please may you rise up, representing the workers. We have retired Colonel Tom Butime, representing historicals. May I introduce my colleagues from the party head office, and I request that they come here so that you look at them properly. I am doing this because for the last 1 month, these men and women have not rested. And after this function, they are heading to the field. We shall come back home in February. That is how we have designed our movement. Allow me introduce the Deputy Secretary General, Honorable Namayanja Rose Nsereko, who is already in the field waiting for us tomorrow in Luero. She's not here with us. We have Honorable Ambassador Barbara Nekesa, the National Treasurer of the party. We have Honorable Jacqueline Chatuaire, the Deputy National Treasurer for the party. I have Ajat Medina Naham Ojale, the Director of Finance and Administration. I have Honorable Dr. Rosemary Seninde, the Director of Mobilization. I have Honorable Emmanuel Dombolomala, the Director of Media and Public Relations. I have Counsel Enoch Barata, the Director for Legal Affairs. I have Major Retired Okui Raboni, who is not here with us. He must already have gone to the field. And Comrade Major Awich Pola, representing the diaspora. I have members of the NRM Electoral Commission. If I may introduce them. Dr. Tanga Odoi, Chairman, NRM Electoral Commission. I have Honorable Fred Jachanomaj, the Vice Chair, NRM Electoral Commission. I have Honorable Jane Alesemera, Commissioner with the Electoral Commission. I have Honorable James Twail, the Commissioner with the Electoral Commission. I have Honorable Auma Modesta, a member of the Commission. And I have Ajat Draware Zaitun, a member of the Commission. Plus all our staffs from the party head office, thank you so much. Please, may you have your seats. Your Excellency, today we are launching our manifesto. But behind this manifesto, there was a team of young, energetic, brilliant men and women who sat day and night to help us come with this manifesto. And this team was under my chair, deputized by Comrade Moses. I would request that you come in front so that the members get to see you. As we were doing our work, we co-opted in a way of consultation a few technocrats because we wanted to align our manifesto with the National Development Plans and the Vision 2040. And so we were working with the PSST closely for guidance and aligning our manifesto with the development agenda of government. I think maybe you've just, Your Excellency, with your permission, allow me to request them mention just their names. That is the only gift you can give them for the good work they have done. Just mention your name and in 1 minute.
Your Excellency, all protocol observed, my name is Stephen Tayebwa. I have been part of the committee that has drafted this manifesto.
Your Excellency, my name is Marvin Senkungu, part of the drafting team. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, my name Taligola Issa Bantalib, a member of the manifesto drafting team. Thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Capson Sausi from the NRM headquarters.
Your Excellency, and all protocol observed, my name is Willis Bashasha, member of this team. Thank you.
Your Excellency, my name is Joanita Kanajizi Orishava, a member of this team.
Your Excellency, my name is Alice Mhozi, a member of this team.
Your Excellency, my name is Biamung Charles. I've been working as the welfare officer for the committee members.
Can you clap harder for the welfare man? Asante sana.
Your Excellency and Mama, Moses Biaruhanga, the Right Honorable Secretary General gave me permission to chair the committee, and today we are presenting our findings. Thank you.
Thank you. You can resume your seats. Your Excellency, I will speak about the manifesto we are launching today. I will give an account of the manifesto we have been implementing, and then I'll request Comrade Moses to come and give a few highlights on some of the key promises we are making, and later on you'll come and give the icing on the subject matter. I bring you greetings from the party secretariat, and I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the 2026-2031 NRM Manifesto launch. A manifesto is a social contract between a political party and the people. The masses vote for a manifesto that speaks to their interests, and that is why, as a party, we always take time to understand the mass interests. Political parties are to align their policies to the key factors of production. These are land, capital, labor, entrepreneurship, knowledge, as we all know, and this speaks to the human interests and the human endeavors. Over the years, the NRM has built a system that has restored trust in leadership, and we commend our national chairman, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, for always reminding us that we are socio-economic doctors. I will speak briefly about the many manifestos we have sponsored over the years before I talk about the performance of the 2021-2026 manifesto. Members should know that in drafting our manifestos, we always remind ourselves about the historical missions of the party, which stands on the strategic peace and security of Uganda and Africa, prosperity for Uganda and Africa, and we use the social and economic linkages among our people to coexist in this continent called Africa. We are guided by our philosophy, strategy, and character of our revolution. And through that, over the years, we have streamlined our doctrine to the 4 key pillars, which are patriotism, Pan-Africanism, socio-economic transformation, and democracy. Members, I would request that allow me reflect your memories on the various manifestos we have sponsored over the years. Our manifestos are social contracts between us and the masses. Our relationship is based on how we implement our manifestos. For the last period, we have sponsored the following manifestos with the following themes. In 1986, our manifesto or our philosophies were based on the 10-point programs. That was from 1986 up to 1996. These were on democracy, security, consolidation of national unity and elimination of all forms of sectarianism, defining and consolidating national independence, building an independent, integrated, and self-sustained national economy, restoration and improvement of social services, and the rehabilitation of war-ravaged areas, elimination of corruption and misuse of power, redressing errors that have resulted in the dislocation of sections of the population and improvement of others. In 1996, we had a manifesto with the theme, tackling the task ahead. By that time, we had a lot of tasks, and our priority was to tackle those tasks one by one. It pushed us to the period of 2021-2026, where we had a manifesto with the theme, consolidating the achievements. If you may recall, the multi-party political dispensation came to effect after the amendment of the Constitution in 2006. We became a political party in 2006 after the movement system. In 2006, we had a manifesto with the theme, prosperity for all, because we were thinking that Uganda is beautiful, prosperous, and it should be for everybody. From 2011 to 2016, our manifesto was on peace, unity, and transformation for prosperity. In 2016-2021, we had a manifesto on steady progress, and 2021-2026, the manifesto that we are winding was speaking about securing your future. Today's manifesto that we are launching, the theme is protecting the gains as we make qualitative leap into higher middle income status. From all these themes, you will see how intentional and systematically NRM has been, that we kept building one after another. And that is why today we speak about the gains and consolidating these gains. If I may briefly speak about the performance of 2021-2026 manifesto, Your Excellency and members, the NRM has just concluded implementing the 2021-2026 manifesto under the theme Securing Your Future. It was a statement of intent towards meaningful growth and development of Uganda, eliminating the obstacles of poor infrastructure, high cost of capital, high cost of energy, reducing the cost of doing business, ensuring political stability, tackling backwardness, and fighting against corruption, leading to competitive economy. The NRM believes in transparency and accountability as the hallmark of good leadership. As we seek a fresh mandate, we would like to present our accountability for our time in government and to seek the mandate of Ugandans for another term. In this Kisanja that we are concluding, we have been able to do the following in brief. The details are in the books that you've got, but allow me to highlight these few areas. You will get. It has first to be launched before you get. That is how it is supposed to be. The size of the economy doubled in spite of the global shocks such as COVID-19 and disruption in external markets. By the end of the financial year 2025-2026, the size of the economy is projected to expand to shillings 254.2 trillion, which is $66.1 billion, from the $61 billion which was in 2024-2025. We congratulate the government of Uganda for implementing our manifesto well. Right, Honorable Prime Minister, we are very grateful for the work you have done. Ugandans are wealthier because poverty has declined from 21.4% in 2016 to 16.1% by 2025. While the proportion of households engaged in subsistence economy fell from 68.9% in 2010 to 33.1% by 2023-2024. The cost of living has as well been managed as prices of basic utilities like sugar, fuel, soap, and salt have either remained unchanged or reduced. NRM has a track record of prudent management of price stability, which has made Uganda one of the least costly and price predictable countries. Jobs are back after recovery from COVID effect. Our job market was remarkably hit by COVID-19. However, we are happy to report that due to the prudent economic measures, new jobs are being created. Our jobs have increased from 258,286 in the financial year 2020-2021 to 345,039 jobs. The shillings has been the most stable currency in Africa. During the financial year 2024 to 2025, our shilling gained value as many other currencies lost theirs. Factories have increased to an estimate of 50,000 from 37,559 in 2029-2020. This industrial growth is driven by investments in industrial parks. We thank His Excellency for preaching about industrial parks. Total export earnings from goods and services reached US $13.3 billion in financial year 2024-2025, of which US $10.6 billion was earned from export of goods only. Key exports include gold, coffee, manufacturing products, cocoa beans, milk products, basic metals, sugar, fish and fish products, ceramic tiles, wood and plywood, and so on and so forth. You'll get the details in the document. Electricity generation capacity rose from 2,051 megawatts in 2024 it rose to 2,051 megawatts in 2024 from 1,839 megawatts in 2019. With completion of Karuma, Isima, and other electricity generating facilities, with this, we have increased our capacity to power our industrialization and connected more Ugandans to the national grid. The tourism sector made a strong rebound. The number of tourists arriving recovered to 1.37 million in 2024 from 473,885 from 2020. Tourism earnings have grown by 13.1% to US $1.352 billion in the last 12 months. In the past 10 years, we have invested over 11 trillion in key wealth initiatives like PDM, Emioga, and others. These initiatives have contributed to poverty reduction from 56.4% in 1992 to 16% by 2024. We have cut down the numbers of households in subsistence economy by more than a half, from 68% in 2014 to 33% in 2024. Ugandans are living longer, happier than before. Life expectancy at birth has improved to 68 years from 45 years in 1986. Mothers are no longer dying from childbirth-related complications like they used to do. The overall maternal mortality rate has reduced from about 44% from 336 deaths per 1,000 live birth to 189 per 100,000 live birth in the last 10 years. The number of children dying before their first birthday has significantly reduced. Infant mortality rate has reduced from 122 deaths per 1,000 live birth in 1986 to 28 deaths per 1,000 live birth in 2024. This is way below the average of sub-Saharan Africa, which is at 42 deaths per 1,000 live birth. We thank the Ministry of Health for these wonderful records. Malaria incidence reduced by 24% from 302 per 1,000 population to 230 per 1,000 population over the past 5 years. Through NRM, Universal Primary Education Program, Uganda children are going to school, and the national literacy rate has risen to 74% in 2024 from 43, which was in 1986. The enrollment rate in government-aided primary schools increased to 9.1 million learners by 2025, up from 2.5 million, which was in 1996. The national road network is in better condition. The road network that is tarmac has increased to 6,288 kilometers from 1,000 kilometers, which was in 1986. As a result of Uganda becoming wealthier, they are living in better houses. Uganda housing stock has increased from 6.53 million units in 2014 to 7.99 million units in 2024, with the proportion of households living in grass-thatched houses decreasing from 37.6% to 25% in the same period. Ugandans can now access safe and clean water. Currently, 68% of population in the rural within the walking distance of 500 meters and 71% in urban areas within a walking distance of 200 meters have access to clean and safe water. At village level, the number of villages with safe water, with a safe, clean and affordable water supply system increased from 38,809 villages to, in 2021, excluding Kampala Capital City Authority, to 57.313 villages out of 71,210 villages in 2025, which is about 81% water coverage. Uganda is peaceful and stable. In spite of the above achievements, there remains unfinished businesses that we intend to resolve in this next term. The notable ones are creating wealth for the remaining 33% of households still in subsistence production, because 3 in 10 families are either still stuck in subsistence farming and not benefiting from the money economy, or are engaged in non-profitable enterprises. Resolving land use rights, ownership, and fragmentation that remain a barrier to commercial farming and proper land use. Adding value to agriculture and minerals before exporting them. Currently, we are donating 80% of our value and jobs to the rest of the world by exporting raw materials. We need to develop more tourism sites to improve our economy. We need to invest in irrigation and fertilizer to stabilize agriculture and enhance productivity. We are currently over-relying on rain-fed agriculture, and our soils are depleted. We have to continue investing in science and technology and innovation to unlock industrial growth and increase productivity. We need to reduce the cost of doing business by increasing investments in the transport infrastructure, reducing the cost of electricity, and increasing access to affordable long-term capital to support private sector growth and competitiveness. We need to continue constructing the pipelines for refining products to get the fuel tankers out of the road. We need to complete the standard gauge railways and rehabilitation of the master gauge railways. We need to continue reducing unemployment and underemployment among our young people by increasing labor productivity, gainful employment, and skilling. We need to continue eliminating corruption in government and private sector. We need to increasingly access the international and regional export markets, such as the East African Community Market, COMESA, and AFCFTA, by addressing tariffs and non-tariff barriers. We need to increase domestic revenue mobilization to fund national priorities. Our revenue to GDP ratio has stagnated between 13% to 14%. Investing in our cities, including Greater Kampala metropolitan area, with modern infrastructure, affordable housing, and other facilities, should be one of our priorities in the next Kisanja. We need to continue investing in more industrial parks and export zones to increase industrialization, create jobs, substitute imports, and increase exports. We need to be investing in creative arts industries, sports, talents, development, and wealth creation, and youth employment. Comrades, we need to keep expanding affirmative action programs to attain social equity and ensure no Ugandan is left behind. We need to keep enhancing quality of health care and education. On education, the issue of charging parents' fees in UP and USE schools that are already funded by government should stop. In health, the issue within the means of health, we need to fight the theft of medicine and laxity among health workers. We need to continue dealing with environmental degradation and climate change. The above notwithstanding, the national resistance movement has defended Uganda with meager resources in the past. We now have greater means and resources to lift the country into a higher middle income status. Allow me to run you through the key thematical areas of the next manifesto we have, that we are launching today. The theme of this manifesto is protecting our gains. It resonates with the NRM historical mission of guaranteeing Ugandans prosperity and security. This manifesto is structured along 5 core themes where our efforts will be centered. These are: we are promoting growing the economy and creating wealth. We are pledging more infrastructural development. We are talking more about investing in human capital. We are speaking more about democracy, good governance, and security. We are pledging more commitment towards regional integration and political federations. On growing the economy, in line with our principles of socio-economic transformation, this theme addresses the following. 1, we want full monetization of the economy. 2, we are speaking about agricultural production and productivity. We are talking about water for production, adding value to raw materials. We are speaking about the oil and gas sector, and we are promoting value to tourism development and investing in science and technology and innovation. We are speaking about investing in young people. Our cumulative promises in the section is to completely eliminate spectators in the incoming generation campaigns. In the next 5 years, we will boost the wealth creation campaigns by, for example, increasing PDM funding to Greater Kampala Metropolitan to shillings 300 million per ward, stroke parish, and will provide an additional grant of 500,000 shillings over the above 1 million shillings provided by PDM to households headed by persons with disabilities. We are also providing 15 million shillings to village elected leaders in a parish and a separate fund to religious leaders. In order to improve on agricultural production and productivity, we shall set up a fertilizer fund to support farmers to access fertilizers. These efforts will mobilize all Ugandans to become productive, to become producers of either a good or a service to increase job. Under infrastructure, we promote economic growth and development, and economic growth and development cannot be achieved without a robust infrastructure. This theme provides our commitments towards: 1, transport, which are roads, railway, and air. We are committed to invest more in energy for sustainable growth and affordable housing. On water transport especially, we shall establish new ferry services at Busi Highland in Wakiso, Kome to Damba Highland in Mukono, Nangoma to Kasensero, Albert Nile Ferry, Lake Kwania ferries, and landing facilities. We are speaking about that also in Amuro, Rhino Camp Ferry, and landing facilities, and procure a ferry for Chamuswa, Kalangala. Our investment in infrastructure development will aim to guarantee low cost of doing business by providing cheap electricity, cheap transport, cheap internet. This was our wealth creator. This way, our wealth creator will earn good profits to save the investment more. We want to invest more in the people, especially the young people. Our focus is on building a more skilled and science-oriented labor force to support manufacturing and innovation. The theme covers our commitment to the provision of education, health, water, natural resources, and climate change. In the next 5 years, we will continue to implement reforms in the school curriculum at all levels to ensure that our institutions of learning produce more job creators rather than job seekers. We will ensure that the school curriculum is aligned with the demands of the job market. We will build more schools and hospitals and recruit more health workers, and 49,406 teachers will be recruited. We will progressively enhance salaries for civil servants, including arts teachers, so they should not be striking at this time. On democracy and good governance, as I move towards conclusion, the democratic credentials of NRM are unquestionable. Under this theme, we present commitments in the areas of deepening democracy, decentralization, fighting corruption, securing life and property, promoting justice, law and order, labor and employment, affirmative action initiatives. We talk of NUSAF, PRDP, cattle restocking and compensation, and land governance. We will continue to entrench the principles of good governance, democracy, equality before the law, as we promote zero tolerance to corruption. We promise to continue securing the lives and property of all Ugandans by preventing and combating all threats to our peace and security. On regional integration and political federations, in line with our principles of Pan-Africanism, we have, under this section, made commitments to prosperity, securing fraternity of the African people. In the next term, we will continue to support implementation of activities leading to East African Community Federation, including the promulgation of the East African constitution, work within the East African framework to establish the single East African currency, and work with other East African community members and countries to eliminate all non-tariff barriers within the region. Finally, we urge all Ugandans to read and internalize the wonderful programs outlined in the NRM Manifesto. We trust that this manifesto is the umbrella principles and umbrella thinking of we, the NRM members. The details of other promises are in the books that you'll see, where we have given detailed pledges on key issues and items. I will invite my comrade Moses Birohanga to give a few of the highlights in the areas that we are continue to pledge and promise. But before I invite him, allow me introduce members of PLU who are here. Comrade Kabanda, the Secretary General of PLU, but we have joined forces. We are working together and moving together as a team. And we say, the Pan-Africanists say, many fronts but one struggle. So we are all scoring in the same basket. And thank you so much for coming. Comrades, may we welcome Moses Birohanga, who is going to give us a brief of the key areas that we have made as pledges in the summary we have made, but the details of this are in the manifesto that our national chairman is going to launch shortly. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. After Moses, I will invite the second national vice chairman of the party, chairperson of the party, to come and give a few remarks. And then the first national vice chairperson will come and give his remarks and invite our national chairman to speak and launch the manifesto. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my young brother Richard. The Secretary General has basically summarized the entire manifesto. I want to thank him on behalf of our committee that when Your Excellency delegated him to chair the committee of the manifesto drafting, because he had many other assignments of planning for whatever we are going through, he also assigned me to chair on his behalf, and we have had a good working relationship. Thank you, Honorable Todong. Basically, the manifesto starts with a message from the chairperson. The speech which the chairperson used at Kololo is we have it as a message from the chairperson, which summarizes the entire manifesto. The President talked about 7 areas: the peace, development, wealth, services, ICT, market, and strategic security. That now summarizing the entire manifesto. We just went into details of that. But what the Secretary did not left out was that, for instance, on agriculture, our target is to continue with the research, to focus on research, productivity through irrigation, and creating a fertilizer fund where people can go and borrow at a low interest rate and invest in the use of fertilizer. On research, our scientists at Naro, they need to be applauded. They have come up with an anti-tick vaccine, and they are working on foot and mouth disease vaccine. They're also working on the swine fever vaccine. Those last two, they are still doing the research. But for the anti-tick vaccine, their research has been found useful. Government has already spent money for them to build and construct and equip a factory at Nakesesa. I think they had so told us they will begin commercial production of the anti-tick vaccine in October this year. We are also going to emphasize investment in post-harvest management in agriculture. to reduce the losses. Then mechanization and markets for our culture products. The Secretary General talked about the wealth creation funds. In the manifesto, we talk about the investments in UDB. So far, we have capitalized UDB up to 1.9 trillion. In this budget, we are capitalizing it with another trillion. That is support manufacturing, support tourism, and so forth at low interest rates of not more than 12%. We are also continuing with agriculture credit facility, which gives loans to agriculture in agriculture sector at low interest rates of not more than 12%. We are also expanding. We have started this financial year. We started the interest-free loan for those in commercial agriculture, large-scale farmers. Under PDM, we have so far spent 4.1 trillion and reached out, by the time of the end of the Exanja, we would have spent 4.1 trillion. And we would have reached out 4.1 million households. Now remember, according to the statistics from UBOS, the households that were in subsistence economy by 2024 were 3.6 million. By the end of this Exanja, we will have reached 4.1 million households. But the 3.6 was as of 2024. So if you count in the next 2-3 years, if we continue performing well in the PDM, we will almost have reached everybody in the next 3 years. Some of the challenges you find under PDM, and most of you here are leaders, that's where during the president's visits, that's where we found a chairperson of a district had received under PDM. I said, but you are not part of PDM. So if we focus those people who are supposed to benefit, in the next 2-3 years, we should have reached almost everybody. Under Myoga, we have so far spent 660 billion. And this financial year, we are adding on another 100 billion. The challenge here is also supervision. You find that the Myoga money is going, but you, the political leaders, are not following it up. We carried out some work here in Kampala, and we found the success was very low. Money had been spent, but those who are receiving the money, the leaders of the circles, are not passing it on to the beneficiaries. So that one, we continue funding Myoga, but we need to clean up. Otherwise, if Myoga reaches all the urban dealers in the mechanics, the welders, the carpenters, and all those groups, the 18 different groups, we have reached everybody. In fact, Your Excellency, in this manifesto, we are also adding on, among the formation of the new Myoga, that these private security personnel, because we don't have a minimum wage, but we are seeing, because there are many, about 30,000 plus in Kampala alone, and they earn so little. Many of them earn less than 200,000. And there are many people, somebody having a gun every day, he earning only 200,000 or below. So we also trying to create a Myoga for them and other disadvantaged groups, especially here in urban areas like Kampala and so forth. We're also adding on the fishing community, because the fishing community will need a special fund for them, since for them 1 million and the Myoga is so little, and their needs are bigger than 1 million. Your Excellency, the other day at Kololo, you also mentioned, we also put it in the manifesto, a fund for university leavers. We also put it in the manifesto. We have captured it as part of the areas we are going to fund. In roads, today we have 6,300 kilometers of tarmac roads. When NRM came to power, we had only 1,000 kilometers of bad roads. Mark that. And by independence, we had only 855 kilometers of tarmac roads. But today, we are talking of 6,300 kilometers of tarmac roads, and that does not include 1,300 kilometers of roads which are under construction as of today. So if you add 1,300 to the 6,300, we could talk about 7,600 kilometers of roads. All this basically goes under NRM. We are also promising, as of today, we have 1,700 kilometers of roads under procurement, so those are going to start immediately. In fact, most of them are starting this financial year as part of the end of Kisanja, so we shall complete them in the new Kisanja. We have 2,400 kilometers of roads under design, so those also are for implementation. And we have earmarked funds permitting 2,800 kilometers of roads to start on either for design and then continue with them in the next Kisanja. We're also working on the various bridges across the country. For the community, for the district and in Greater Kampala alone, so far they have completed 55 kilometers of tarmac roads, but we have secured funding to tarmac 293 kilometers of roads within Greater Kampala. That's Kampala, Wakiso, Mukono, and some parts of Mpigi. And most of them have started, others are under procurement. So in the next 1 year or two, we should have a city in Kampala and Wakiso without dust. Under the district roads, as you are aware, government some years ago bought equipment, road construction equipment for the districts. Now government what has been doing was give them fuel. They have been getting money from the road fund, but some time back, about a year or two ago, the president authorized that we give them another 1 billion on top of the road fund they were getting. So we give 1 billion to all the districts, all the municipalities, and all the cities minus Kampala, so that the 176 units of the local government units are all receiving this money for maintenance of roads. But we still need good political supervision, because you find that the roads, the money is going, but are the roads being worked on? Now here the political leaders have to play a role. The Secretary General talks about the railway. I will not go into it. In energy, the Secretary General talks about, but historically, when NRM came to power in 1986, we are producing only 60 megawatts of power against installed capacity of 150 megawatts at the dam in Jinja. We first increased the capacity to 180 megawatts, but as of today, we are generating 2,052 megawatts of power. And our issue here has been, the President has been over the years talking about reducing the cost of power, especially to the manufacturers. When we bought out Umeme early this year, we have so far managed now to bring the cost of power for the large manufacturers. The large manufacturers consume 28% of the power generated. These are now getting power at 5.5 cents per kilowatt hour. But our target is that all the manufacturers who consume 49% of the power generated should be able to get power at 5 cents. So in the next Kisanja, our bigger target here is to reduce the power to 5 cents. Already we have reached 5.5 for the large manufacturers, but we shall also come down for the others. We are going to invest in more generation, especially the nuclear power generation plant in Buyende. That is expected to produce about 8,600 megawatts of power. Under housing, when we met with the leaders of the workers, the chairperson of the Workers' League and others, they were mentioning that, oh, we are creating more workers, yes, through factories and so forth. But where are they going to stay in terms of livelihood, in terms of houses? So in our discussions, when we met with the President, we agreed that among the promises, one is to buy land by government. Government buys land, like we do industrial parks, and allocate land to developers who will develop solid houses, have that land with facilities like roads, like electricity, all the utilities. So the developer is just to develop the house. And we are told that that will bring down the cost of the house by about 40%. The next thing there is to reduce the mortgages, because we want these young people who have started working to be able to get houses of their own. But the mortgage rates now are about 16–17%. So we are talking about capitalizing Housing Finance Bank, which is a government bank, so that they reduce the mortgages to about 10% or even below. We're also talking about capitalizing National Housing Corporation so that they can build affordable houses. On education, apart from what Honorable Tolong has talked about, education is a human right and a social equalizer. In 1986, by 1986, education was for only a few, those who could afford to pay school fees. When we started UPE in 1997, we had 6,880 primary schools in the whole country. Enrollment was about 2.5 million. We had 84,000 teachers. Today, enrollment, as the Honorable Tolong has mentioned, is 9.1 million learners. These days they call them learners. The teachers are 147,000 from 84,000. We have now 147,000. The schools, primary schools, government-aided primary schools, are 12,549. Remember, our policy in primary has been a primary school per parish so that we bring education nearer. However, the challenge we have here is that out of 10,500 parishes, these 12,000 primary schools are in 6,429 parishes. So meaning that some parishes have more than one private school, government school. So our emphasis this time is going to be, we grant aid the primary school where in a parish where there is none. If you already have one, we don't give you. So the target is those which don't have will be our priority. In secondary education, when we started the free secondary education in 2007, enrollment was only 400,000 in government schools. Today we are talking about almost 1.2 million. It has gone up 3 times with 37,000 teachers. In this Kisanja alone, because our policy is to build a government secondary school in the sub-counties without, in this Kisanja alone, we have constructed 189 secondary schools in sub-counties without. We have also 258 secondary schools are under construction. The 189 are finished, completed. The 258 are under various stages of construction. I think we should clap for the First Lady, because that's no mean achievement. Almost 400 and something schools in just 5 years. Under university, we now have 78 universities. We used to have only 1. Out of the 78, 12 are public, all with the enrollment of 220,000 students. Up from 4,000 when Makere was the only one. Today we have 220,000. In TVET, this is vocational technical education, we now have 130 of them. Remember, our policy has been each constituency should have a TVET. But what we are experiencing is that most of these 130 don't have full enrollment. Enrollment is still low. So part of our policy now is to ensure that we increase enrollment by government sponsoring more students according to our budget needs. So we promise, like Honorable Tolong mentioned, we are talking about the quality of education. There has been teacher absenteeism, but the ministry has now gone digital in supervising teachers. They have introduced a system called Taylor. Gone are the days when now teacher absenteeism, where it has been installed and is working fully, teacher absenteeism has improved. I mean, teachers attending to schools, to your children, has improved from about below 50% to now about 85%. That's going to improve the quality of education. They have also introduced what they call another digital system called EMIS. This one is giving each child an identification number. Because capitation grant is given per child, there is a tendency of head teachers to inflate the number of children. But now, through digital, we are going to know how many children you have per school. It's being rolled out, so in the next few years or so, the idea of corruption by inflating the number of children in the schools will be no more. Honorable Todong mentioned about the fees in government schools. The President has always talked about free education. But some schools, the head teachers have been charging some fees on the pretext that they are paying for children, for teachers who are not on the government payroll. So we sat down with the team from the Ministry of Education and said, what number of teachers do we need to employ so that all the schools have enough teachers? They gave us the figure of about 50,000 teachers and said, but how much will it cost? We calculated the costs of the salaries. And when we discussed with the President, he said that one can be afforded in our budget framework. And so we are going to plan to ensure that all teachers have the necessary number of teachers they require, so that no school has a pretext of charging that they are going to pay teachers not on the payroll. So we shall continue. Even we are planning to rehabilitate the 121 traditional schools, like Kabalega Secondary School where I went, Luhaga Secondary School, Tororo, all those old schools. There are 121 of them. They are going to be rehabilitated in the next Kisanja. On health, our target has always been curative and preventive. But many people talk about the curative side and don't emphasize curative. As Honorable Todong mentioned, today, as a result of immunization, which is at 95%, and that 5% is not because of government, it's because of parents who never take their children for immunization. Otherwise, it would have been 100%. And by 1986, immunization was only 30%. When we started these programs in 1987, we were only immunizing against six killer diseases. But we have now increased them to 14, including malaria, which is recent. Uganda today has 78, and has 78 hospitals. These include 54 general hospitals, 16 regional referral, 5 national referral, and 3 specialized hospitals, 217 health center 4s, 1,553 health center 3s. And this is contrasted. In 1986, we had only 49 hospitals. Today we're talking of 78 hospitals, but the health center 4s, which are 217, are hospitals in their own right, because they have a theater, they have a doctor, they have all those diagnostic equipment. So when people talk about, in those 60s, the health system was better. Access to health services was very far away. I come from Bunyoro. We had a hospital in Hoima. The other one was in Bulisa. The other one was in Kagadi. The other one was in Kivoga. And Masindi, and then Kiyandong. The whole of Bunyoro. But today, we are talking of so many health centers which are hospitals. And this, as a result, that's why Honorable Todong was giving you the improvement in infant mortality, maternal mortality, and so on and so forth. So our plan in health is to ensure that all the remaining sub-counties without health center 3s build more hospitals, but also equip the existing ones with the necessary equipment, like MRIs in all regional referral hospitals, CT scans, and so forth and so forth. And last on health is the total eradication of malaria. the people in health told us that 40% of the people who go to health centers in Uganda are malaria cases. And this can be eliminated. We asked them, what does it require? They gave us some formulas. It requires some little more money. But now that we are not holding, in a year we're not holding elections, we managed to raise about 800 billion plus for the census. We have now managed to raise money over $1 trillion for this exercise elections. Now, they talked about 800 or so billion required if you are to eradicate malaria totally. So in between, we can plan and ensure that in the years when we don't have, because it will be a one-off, we can find a plan, we shall have a plan to ensure that the total eradication of malaria in Uganda, and that will improve better on health services. Honorable Long talked about the water. I don't want to go back into the water. He talked about the environment. I don't want to go into it. But on water, today 57,000 villages out of 71,000 have access, have a clean water source. Up from 38,000 in 2021. So in the district Sanja alone, we have provided 18,500 villages with water sources, a clean water source. So as of today, the villages without a clean water source are only 13,000. So if we manage to do 18,000 in the last Sanja, why can't we do the 13,000 in this Sanja and make sure that every village has a water source? And that's going to be our target. So in a village there without a water source, in this Sanja you will have water. On environment, maybe what Honorable Todongo didn't talk about, the President has been mentioning it, we are encouraging the better use of the water wetlands. We have reclaimed, we have restored about 1,200 square kilometers of wetlands have been restored. We have cancelled about 300 titles which were given out in wetlands, and another 300 are in the process of being cancelled for people who got titles in wetlands. But also we are encouraging fish farming in the periphery of the wetlands against rice farming. First of all, the fish farming is ecosystem friendly, it's friendly to the environment, but they also get more money. The President has been talking about the remote experience in Kibuku district, in Bukedi. So we want to encourage that in all the other areas. On corruption, apart from what Hodadulong mentioned, digitalization of the economy is going to help us. We want a means of ICT to lead in the digitalization of the economy. Already, we've told you how the Ministry of Education is using the digital system to ensure that we improve the quality of education. The Ministry of Health is also rolling out a digital system which is fighting absenteeism of health workers, at the same time following up the issuance of drugs to ensure that the drugs are not stolen. So we are proposing, funds permitting, like in the police, to introduce body cameras. Most of you watch TVs, international TVs or films. You see the police in the rest of the world have body cameras. Whatever they are doing, it is being monitored. So when we introduce them, gradually, maybe starting with Metropolitan, we should be able to reduce on the level of corruption and good governance. But also, we are asking the political leaders to play their role. When you hear that teachers are not teaching at a particular school, or the health center, workers at the health center are not working, but that health center, that school is in a parish, is in a sub-county, which is represented at a district council or a sub-county council. So why should you be a councillor representing a parish where teachers are not teaching? What is your political role? The NRM introduced the local council system to be a supervisor, to play an oversight role over the civil servants. But in many cases, It's the other way around. It's like the civil servants are supervising the political leaders. So we want to encourage sensitization of the political leaders to know their role, and if they play their role very well, the corruption will not be there. Most of it will be reduced because they will be able to supervise what they are supposed to do. We are also investing in the rule of law to ensure that we have access to justice. We commend the Office of the Attorney General has won so many cases and saved Uganda over 4 trillion shillings. All that detail is in the manifesto. Now, lastly, Your Excellency, especially here in Uganda, we have been having cases on land. There is a very detailed account of what NRM has done on the land to ensure that the Bibanja holders, the bona fide landholders, and so on and so forth are protected. I will not go through it now, but it is very detailed here. Starting on page 170, we have really talked about land elaborately, and all those who chase away the legal occupants of land are doing a mistake. It's now work of the police to ensure that we protect our people. There are ways here which we enumerate where we are supposed to start giving them certificates so that they are all protected. Your Excellency, I beg to stop here, and I want to thank you for the role you entrusted us and the Secretary General and the entire team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can we give a bigger round of applause to the Manifesto team? In just 1 or 2 minutes, I request that you allow me invite the second national vice chairperson of the party to come and say a few words, since this is a party platform. And in the same spirit, you will invite the first national vice chair to give his remarks and invite the national chairperson to speak and launch the manifesto. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the President and our beloved party chairman and the presidential flag bearer, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, and Mama, the Vice President, Major Retired Jessica Alupo Epel, the Right Honorable Prime Minister and Leader of Government Business, Honorable Nabanja Robina, all the ministers who are present, the first Vice Chairperson, Alhaji Moses Chigongo, all the members of Parliament who are present, all the members of the Central Executive Committee of the NRM, the Secretary General and the directors of NRM, all the NRM district chairpersons and executives, ladies and gentlemen, I am profoundly honored to address you at the launch of our Kisanja Manifesto 2026-2031. As you are aware, the NRM government has historically steered a remarkable growth and development of this beautiful country through our people-centered growth and transformation intervention. Our gathering here today is a reaffirmation of our relentless commitment to all the Ugandans that works for each and every one of our countrymen and women. The manifesto is not merely a document, but a promissory note of what NRM government will offer to this nation. It is a product of evidence-based research and analysis. This Kisanja Manifesto is therefore a compact for Ugandans. This compact is not just a pledge or an undertaking, it is a statement of intent that NRM wants to continue to deliver as we have historically done over the past years. If you look at the evolution of our successive manifestos, right from the 10th point program in 1980s, you will see a consistent pattern of dedication and commitment to improving the lives of our people and transformation of our society. This consistency of the NRM is not accidental. It is a product of a visionary leader of our beloved President, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The growth and evolution of Uganda from a peasant and largely a subsistence society to a middle-income status is a confirmation of the competence and commitment of the NRM government. It's now time for us to protect the gains that we have registered in the transformation of our beloved country, Uganda. The Kisanja Manifesto is yet a testament of the ideological clarity and policy pedigree of the NRM government. As we embark on the campaigns, I want to urge all of you to acquaint yourselves with a major focus of the party in this Kisanja and preach the gospel of protecting the gains. We should all know what the manifesto has and what we should tell the people out there. The gains of the social service, notably in the health sector, as you've already heard, the education and skilling, the rapid growth of industrialization as witnessed with the industrial hubs that we have so far, say in Kampala, Wakiso, Mbale, Gulu, to say but a few. The increased deepening of the financial services and microcredit through the youth, gender, and innovation funds. Security and safety as demonstrated by the ability of our gallant security services to keep our borders from other communities safe. You can move from one part of the country to the other with all the peace that we have in Uganda. We want to thank you, President Yoweri, for the peace. All these gains must be protected by us ensuring that we deliver a vote for our president. And after this launch, we want to request you to move from village to village, house to house, parish to parish, district to district, to look for a vote for our beloved candidate. Long live our president, long live NRM, and long live Uganda. I want to take this opportunity to invite the first national vice chairperson of the NRM to come and make his remarks, and thereafter invite the chairperson.
Your Excellency, the President of Uganda, First Lady Mama Janet Museveni, the Vice President, Honorable Nabanja, the Prime Minister, the Speaker of Parliament, Ministers, Chairman, all of you, the Chairman, and all of you who are here, allow me, first of all, to congratulate the President upon his nomination as our presidential candidate. Your Excellency, allow me, sir, also to congratulate the members, especially the chairman, who worked very hard to mobilize the signatures of the president. You did a good job and you did not waste a lot of time on that. I want also to use this opportunity to thank the Secretary General, to thank Yaruhanga and the Manifesto team for the good job well done. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, sir, we thank you for having accepted to go back to the drawing table to come out with a new manifesto which is going to take us for another 5 years. We are ready, the country is ready, and I can assure you, Your Excellency, that we are going to win. But for us to sell this manifesto, there are some things which we need to know. First, discipline. If we don't pull up on discipline, things might be difficult for us. I'm appealing to you, honorable members, first of all, to love one another. Let us work together. This infighting must stop, and stop now. It must stop, and stop now. Let us move together as one group. Let us campaign as one group. We can reach anywhere. And this time is going to be very soft for us because we are going to use our structures to campaign. We must respect our structures and we must use our structures. I've moved around. People are tired of getting people from Kampala to go to the hotels and sit there. We are very firm on the ground, and you must use all the powers we have on the ground using our structures. If we do that, there will be no problem whatsoever. Your Excellency, sir, people have been waiting for quite a long time, and I don't want to waste time here because I'm not even supposed to give a speech today. It is a day for you, Your Excellency, to come and deliver the manifesto to us. I use this opportunity to invite him to come and deliver the manifesto. Your Excellency, sir. Hey!
NRM oye! NRM Joe! Okay, Beping Mutule wansi kaa chini. Her Excellency the Vice President, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, the First Vice Chairman of the NRM, the former leaders, all the Vice Chairpersons of the NRM, the Secretary General of the NRM, members of SEC, and all the people who are here for this launch. First of all, I again want to thank the NRM fraternity and leadership for being strong with the NRM all these years. And secondly, I want to thank you for supporting my candidature. First of all, electing me chairman of the NRM again for another 5 years, 2025 to 2031. And then also electing me as flag bearer for presidential contest for the President of Uganda for the period 2026-2031. Thank you so much for the support. I thank my nominators, Dr. Gunda and the Muzukuru from Arua, who nominated me. Now here, with the manifesto, we are not just talking about this manifesto. We are talking about the work of the NRM for Uganda and with Uganda for the last 60 years. However, for today, I will use an ABCDE approach to share with you how we should understand the issues and present them to the people, because sometimes people talk about too many things and people get confused. What is not covered in the ABCDE here, which I'm going to summarize, is the liberation part, where the NRM was involved in the liberation process between 1965 and 1986. That one I will not go into. But our theme today of protecting the gains and ensuring a qualitative leap to high middle income status is our logical next step now, given what we have already gone through. Everything we are saying is linked. It is not one thing, they are all linked. And they are all in this manifesto. Now, under A, I have got 7 points, which are what Secretary General Tolong and Biarhanga talked about. What the NRM has given to Uganda has first of been peace. Peace to the country. No war. And security. This has been ensured by you people, the Wananchi, and the UPDF. So this is number one. This is number one gain. Peace and security. Peace is assured. Our army is very strong. Nobody can bring war here. If you bring war here, we destroy you. Where we need to do some work is on security, because security involves crime. And that crime sometimes it disturbs people. Even the PDM, people get money for PDM, they buy pigs, they buy goats, chicken, they are stolen. And you find the policemen are colluding with they arrest people, release them, even the judiciary. You, the leader, should not accept this. in your areas. Don't accept any policeman who is not very strict with the thieves. Any thief who steals the properties of the villagers must go to jail and stay there and pay for what he stole before he comes out. Be very strict. Don't play around. So that is number one. Peace and security. The number two, development, meaning development of social infrastructure like schools and health centers, the details which they put there, and also economic infrastructure. They are all there in the manifesto. The roads, the railway, the airways, they are all covered. Development covers infrastructure mainly, economic infrastructure, and social infrastructure. So that is number two. Number three is wealth creation. You, the leaders, you should really know that to strengthen the NRM more and durably, you must do what we in the student movement did in the 1960s when we started the campaign in the cattle corridor. That's why I used to invite you to come to Raikitura. Because that cattle corridor, the people were very, very backward. They were nomadic, poor houses and so on. They had cows, but they had no value. But when we analyzed and we saw what the problem was, I have written about all this, how we fought their nomadism, and then when they settled down, we guided them on the enterprise of dairy. The cattle corridor now is quite prosperous, in spite of the infrastructure not being so good. If you go to Ngoma, the infrastructure is not so good, but people have money there, cars and so on. They can show you that money in Ngoma, Matongo. Show them briefly, if you have it. On the screen.
Amazina ninge George Matongo wa Ngoma mugongo w'umuntu hano gwatakasozi nandi kutaha umurimo gwanje ndi muri isa nteze muja kureba nuko itandikira tatakanda gento bakubya talobo hagwakidana meirisa zakanya nagura amataka nyose nazo zankorera twenda zashubutse abana bihereze natuzuru kabanza mu nyankore naje nahindura kumwata ngo njungu nuko zahanyiranye natunga atuzungwe zindisumute.
On our farm, we collect over 900 liters of milk per day, and a liter costs 800 shillings, which is approximately 21 million per month.
Now there, you are looking at transformation. These people, when we started with them in the 1960s, they were like our Karamojong people. The way you see the Karamojong now, that's how they were. But when we persuaded them to settle down, and we had to, there's a way we did it, and then we had to solve the issue of what enterprise can they do that will give them income. Now you see how they are. They have money, they have built very good houses, as you can see. That girl is a university graduate, so and she studied on private sponsorship. So if you say you are a leader and you say enkulakulana Don Globo, Apol, but you don't talk about Obugaga, Obugeiga, Obuguda, Lonyo, of the people. Not just one rich man in the village. All the villagers must have income, must have money. Let's be very clear about this. This is where even the political problems come from, that. If people get out of poverty, I will show you Ijara. I like Ijara so much. Show them Ijara, the one of Serere.
Hello, my name is Joseph Ijala. I am the proprietor of Taifa Farm, which is located in Serere in a place called Kapusi, where we are. And in Taifa we have dairy, poultry, and we're also making laundry bar soap. But we also have the value addition aspect of the farm. To cut a long story short,
Ijara gets 3 million shillings per day from eggs alone. Then milk, you can see, has got a lot of modern cows, exotic cows. In a year, he gets more than 1 billion. Now, because he was a taxi driver, these who shout for taxis. That's what he was. But he had 2.5 acres at home. So when he had my message, he went back to the village. He's now, from eggs, from milk, he's earning more than 1 billion shillings a year. And when he removes costs, he remains with about 800 million net. Now you see the house he has built there. But what is interesting, when I visited him, he forced me, almost at gunpoint, to accept a gift of a cow. The other people asking me for money. This one was now forcing me to accept a gift of a Frisian cow of 6 million shillings. This one here. So really, I'm tired of talking about things which are clear, and then people go on talking about irrelevant things. So there is a difference between development, enkulakulana, entunguka, donglobo, and wealth. Wealth is in the homes of people. Because when you go to rallies, people are talking about roads, cities. They are talking about cities. City. District. They want district because someone wants to be chairman. But if you start with the wealth, there's no way we can go wrong. That is number 3. Number 4, jobs. Where did jobs come from? Jobs come from wealth. Yes, there are a few public service jobs, but those are not enough for all the people of Uganda. The bigger number of jobs is from the private sector. And when people, but how does the private sector create jobs? You create wealth. The wealth is yours, your personal wealth. But in the process, you create jobs. You want me to show you Biamkama now? Okay, let's first see the jobs of the factories. Freeze that, freeze there. Now, you see how many young people are working in that. Oh, very good. Freeze it there. Just see the number of the young people in that factory. So people just talking, jobs, talking. Total lack of seriousness. The factories are now employing 1.2 million Ugandans now, those factories, the 50,000 they talked about. The whole of the public service is 480,000 jobs. But these new factories, which have just come, because you can see they're all brand new, they're already employing 1.2 million people. But agriculture, you saw here, can employ even more Ugandans than the factories. Let us see Biamkama. Biamkama, the young boy who came to Parliament and listened to my message.
Farm. My name is Fred Biamkama. I'm a member of Parliament of Buganges West Constituency, Kakubiro District. We are now at our 4-acre demonstration farm. The land we have here is approximately 4 acres. This is a farm we started 2 years back here, 2.5 years back. And on this farm, we have a half acre of pineapple, has 6 cows for zero grazing. We have poultry, about 25,000 birds, but only 11,000 are giving us eggs. And we have 1 acre of grass. We have piggery, those are very many. And 1 acre of coffee mixed with banana. Where we are, this is a 4-acre model farm. I did this activity to teach my voters, to lead by example, so that my voters can learn what measure the president tells the public. This is an initiative I learned from the president sometime back when he sent me to learn to Kaumu, to Kisozi. I copied what I copied, this is what I came up with. And you will see as we move, or that side, this side, that's my 4-acre model farm. The house as well. Don't sleep here, but if I will sleep here, the house as well is seated on this 4-acre model farm. When you look at poultry, out of the 25,000 birds, it's only 11,000 giving me eggs. Others are soon giving me, and I get 302 trays per day minimally, because 11,000 birds are supposed to give me 366 trays. But because of the feeding method of deep litter, I don't get all the eggs. I get 302 trays per day minimally. Then I sell in a month, you can get a net profit of 55 million. Because you get 108 million, but you can't get all that. You have to buy feeds, pay workers, pay electricity. Remain with 55 million net pay. When you get the cows per month, these are 6 cows. Each cow minimally gives you 20 liters. So when you get 20 times 6, that's 120 liters per day. 120 liters per day. For us, a liter here is 2,000, because we sell each cup at 1,000. So you get 2,000 times 120, you get 24,000 per day. So 24,000 per day, when you multiply, you get about 7.6 million per month. But 7.6 million per month, you cannot save it. You have to get 200 to pay these workers, sometimes even the drug for spraying. That is zero grazing, you spray for ticks and other things. At the end of the day, you remain with a net profit of 6 million from the cows for zero grazing. So this is our grass. Here, 1 acre of grass. This 1 acre is enough feeding our 6 cows. And our cows are feeding well with this grass we have. When you get like the half an acre of pineapple per harvest, you get about 4.5 million and I harvest twice a year. You will see, even as now, there are those which I can harvest for my friends to take. When you look at the piggery, in a month, I can get about between 150 and 180 piglets. But those I don't sell. I give to my neighbors prayer. When you look at coffee, we normally harvest 12 million. We normally harvest 12 million from 1 acre because we're just starting up the harvest. We had the first harvest, and when you get about 12 million, but when you irrigate very well, and you have fertilizer, you get between 18 and 24 million. From 1 acre, coffee alone minus banana. And this banana, at the end of the month, you can get about 1 million, 1.8 million. But I don't sell my banana. I use it for eating. So I simply get my coffee to ensure the other 12 million I'm telling you, which we are getting from this 1 acre, because we have tested it where you receive. And here, currently, I'm employing 26 people.
Now, this is what I wanted to see. Put the workers of, this is what I wanted to see, you to see. Byamukama, who was unemployed himself a few years ago, when he came and listened to my message and went back, and of course he had land, but he was not using it. Now he's earning that money you had, that from eggs alone, he gets a net of 55 million shillings per month, net. In a year, that's because he's selling 302 trays per year, per day. In a year, that's about almost 700 million shillings, 600 million more, about 700 million net from eggs alone, without including coffee and so on. But what I wanted you to see was the workers now. He's now employing 26 people. And the land there he was using was only 2.5. There's another man called Nyakana who used 1 acre and point something. And he employs 15 people. And I have made a calculation for you, saying that, okay, if Nyakana and the people like Byamukama can employ 15 people using 1 acre, what if we had people with land and we had 7 million acres owned by some of our people who use it like Nyakana? You calculate and you will see. The jobs we shall create will be 105 million jobs. So, what about Nyankore Koro Kuchola Mirwa? You know, when people can't think properly, must end. You find people talking about things as if people going to the Middle East to look for, what are you going to look for jobs for? The Middle East should be coming here to work here. You leave jobs here, you go to work in the Middle East. Now, this Byamukama now, in just 2 years after listening to my message, is employing 26 people. You can see them, and he's paying them, he's feeding them. If we use the Nyakana calculation, 15 people out of 1 acre. Let's see Nyakana. Show us Nyakana. I will not show the whole time because I want to move.
name is Nyakana Richard from Rwengaju. This village is called Rwengaju Village in Karabarole, Fort Portal City. And where we are here is my home, and it's my farm. The biggest landlord in this village of Rwengaju is having 7 acres. People are surviving on quarter an acre, half an acre. 80% of the population here, they are on half an acre, they are on quarter an acre. This farm and this home is seated on 1.25 acre. It is surveyed land.
We don't have time to listen to the whole story, but for him, he's selling, I think, 120 trays of eggs per day, and he's using that 1 acre for eggs, those eggs, and for milk. Those cows of his give him about 120 liters, and he's employing 15 people. So my calculation, if you had people with 7 million, all of us, but with a total of 7 million acres, Uganda has got 40 million acres of arable land. But if we use only 7 million, we will create 105 million jobs. There will be so many jobs that all the refugees in the refugee camps will get out and work, and would have to get other Africans from neighboring countries to come and help us. So please, let's get out of sleep. It is wealth which creates jobs. The 4 words now: peace and security, development, wealth, and jobs. Then number 5, service delivery. Service delivery, meaning health care, security, crime prevention, education, transport, all those are services. And Todwong and Yarang have talked about them. So you, the leaders, you need to be clear about all this. Now, number 6 is market. Because when you are explaining to the population, they need to know what we all need to do, what is needed to be done. Because political disagreement is caused by wrong assumptions and lack of information. If people don't know where jobs come from, then they blame the government. No, we have no jobs. And yet he himself can create jobs, he himself. The one who is blaming the government. The government should be blaming him. Why are you not creating jobs? Why are you just idling around? You have the capacity. Yeah. Now number 6 is market. This is what Todong was talking about. If we produce it the way we are producing now, all these eggs, all the milk, all the what, who will buy all this? The internal market is there, but it's not enough. Now that leads us to East Africa. So therefore, in our politics, the whole population must be explained that, please, you people are telling you about tribes, Fengaba Ganda, Fengaba Nankore, we are Choris, we Abasoga, what? Please, that language is the language of enemies. When you hear anybody talking like that, you know he's an enemy of the people of Africa. Me, I am a cattle keeper. I've been keeping cows all my life. The people who help me most are the people who buy my milk, who buy my beef, who buy my bananas. So if you come and try to mobilize me, we as Abanyankole, kugambira won't stand in vako. I tell you that Satan, go away. Because they are useless. Yes, the Banyankwere help me in a way because I have milk, they have milk. I have cows, they have cows. I have banana, they have banana. So we have volumes in one locality. That's how they help me, by co-producing with me. But otherwise, in terms of market, where my policy comes from is Uganda and is East Africa. The milk factories which we have now, if we did not have Uganda, we did not have East Africa, they would have closed. Because the production of milk is now 5.3 billion. The internal consumption is only 800 million. If we did not have East Africa, the factories would have closed. Sugar, if you look at sugar production of sugar in Busoga area and Bunyoro, we are now at 700,000 tons. The internal demand is 300,000. Where are we selling the rest? To the neighboring countries. So please, the NRM leaders, when we talk of Pan-Africanism, we talk of patriotism, love Uganda, we are not just talking theory, it is survival. Anybody who does not agree with us on that is an enemy. You should know that he's an enemy or she's an enemy and must be exposed because he will endanger our future. And everybody, even a villager should be told, they should know this. That's number 6. Under A, Nchariku A, I'm still on A now, because you are the ones who invited me. Why did you invite me? Now, finally, number 7, strategic security. How can Africa guard itself against all threats? Africa was in danger when we were colonized. Other countries which were colonized, the people were exterminated. If you go to America now, the people they call Americans now are not the original Americans. They are Europeans who came and took the land of the Indians, and they are the ones we call Americans now. Africans survived because we don't die easily. To a miracle. But we cannot again make a mistake of being weak. So therefore, when it comes to army, having a strong army, strong economy, that's why we believe in East African integration, both economically and politically. And that's why we talk of the East African Federation. We have been discussing all these years with our colleagues in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, South Sudan. Congo now has joined, Somalia, Burundi. You, the young people, must push this. What politics are you engaged in if you don't talk about that? You don't talk about wealth, you don't talk about jobs, you don't talk about market. What are you talking about? That you are a politician. What are you politicking about? So here I'm just giving you free consultancy about the politics you should talk about. Now that is A. We come to B now. Now, since this is the anatomy of prosperity and strategic security, how far have we gone? In that manifesto, and in my speech, you will see that we have gone through 5 phases. Phase number 1 was minimum economic recovery. When we found you didn't have sugar, you didn't have soap, the whole economy had collapsed. And we brought back those products. Okujao, Ebola, shortages, when we did with the shortages. There is a story there, I don't have time to go into it. Secondly, we expanded the production. More coffee, more tea, more bananas, more this, more that, more sugar cane. Thirdly, diversification. We diversify many products. That's why you hear that the imports, our exports have now gone to $13 billion. That's what Uganda is now earning, $13 billion from exports of goods and services. So we diversified. We are exporting, you had them Todong telling you what we are exporting. Other than raw materials, we are also exporting industrial products. Then value addition. That is phase 4. And finally, the knowledge economy. The other day, I launched the Chira motors. You showed them the Chira motors. That is, those are automobiles designed and built by your children, by your colleagues. Those young people you see there. Let me see whether when I took a picture with them recently. Now, we are developing all this. The pictures of my scientists, where are they? I took a picture with them. Now, what is doing all this? First of all, they are the farmers, you saw them. Then the manufacturers, you saw them. The factories which are owned by Ugandans and non-Ugandans. Now, the knowledge economy is being driven by our children, our grandchildren. I took a picture with them there. But funded by the government. On that Chira effort, we have spent $120 million. But we need another $143 million to fully complete it, so that we produce 10,000 vehicles per year, 10,000 buses. Now we're discussing today in the cabinet, and we're saying once a product is already put forward, why don't the public of Uganda come and buy shares in that factory, so that they also own it, but also contribute to the capital. Because now all the capital is coming from the government. But I want to use this occasion to invite the private sector. There is one good boy called Magora. Show us Magora's things. Our people have discovered medicines we are going to save the world from so many problems. I've discovered medicine for cancer. Those are the scientists. Those are the scientists. All those are our grandchildren. There, the Chira ones. Let's see Magora's efforts, if you have them. Our people have found medicine, apart from the automobiles, the computers, the what, the electric vehicles. Your people have discovered medicine for cancer, for diabetes, that malaria you're talking about, all these other magonjwa yote. But what I want, the appeal now I make, once the government has funded the research, because we fund our scientists, they do the research and the development of the product. When it comes to commercialization, you Ugandans come and buy shares. Mukorachi, instead of buying whiskey and so on and so forth, come and buy shares in this factory, those factories. Let's see, that is Magora now. Now, a Kenyan bank called Equity wanted to come and take over the factory. We said no. Because once they bring it, they have the money, they can bring it. But once they bring it, they can shift the factory to Kenya. And we don't want our innovation to go away. So that's why it must be the science, the government supporting our scientists, and then you people coming in with capital, and you co-own. You co-own. So I'm inviting you now. Now that is the knowledge economy. So when you hear us saying that Uganda's economy is going to be 500 billion in the next few years, instead of the present 66 billion, it is because of what I have told you here. The value addition, the diversification, now the knowledge economy. This knowledge economy, the economy based on science. Now, C now, ABC. C, in this Kisanja, this coming term, there are a number of mass issues that affect the masses, which you, the leaders, must deal with. Number one, poverty and jobs. You must get rid of poverty in these villages through PDM. And it's very easy. Let's look at our young girls. Show them Rashida of Butambara.
Amanya gange yenze Namubiru Rashida, omutuuze w'ekyalo Kasaka, district Butambala, Gombe Town Council. Izo omu ku baasookera ddala okuganyulwa mu ssente za PDM mu sako yaffe baali bagiyita Kasaka Enterprise Group Gotire yalingi. Kakati ssente nazifuna ku simu, message yajja nga nfunye 1 million.
Now that is Rashida who got the 1 million and started with the goats. She's now with the bananas, with the coffee and so on. There's another one of Mukono. I've forgotten her name, the Mukono one. Let's see that one. The one of pigs, Mukono.
Amanya agange nze nampa Harriet nambeera Mangaliba district ya Mukono. Nafuna sente za PDM nasaba emitwalo 5 era ge bampa emitwalo 5 nagafuna nge ennaku z'omwezi 24 ogw'omukaaga 2023. Bwenfuna emitwalo gyange 5 nagula embizi 3. Embizi 3 nga zonna nkazi.
Now,
nazigula ku mambo.
Nampa feared 1 million. She feared. They said 1 million. Million? I can't manage 1 million. She didn't say it. Natia kakade. I feared. They gave me 1 million. I feared. I said akakade. Sika ulanga ko. What? Mze mumpe mtwala tano. Don't give me akakade. I have never handled akakade. How will I manage it? But you see now what she did. So you people, let me see. I will show you two others. Appeal of Lira, and Tumsime of Ruiz. That will be because I am a film shower.
Amazina mbanyita Tumsime Deserata omutuze wa Rubirizi district ate yimirira ndio museri ya Kizurugo nisima president wa Uganda ayatwire PDM nyo kurangine emyaka nkaga nina nkatene chinda tungira haka.
Now you hear that she's 64 years old. She had never owned anything in her life. These are the people you have in your republic. Republic of poor people. Somebody 64 years, she has never owned anything in her life. That's what she was saying. Let's see appeal. These films of mine, I give them to you free. They should show them to you free. I think I'm going to make cassettes of films and maybe sell them to you people.
Anya PVT, aburi wan ti mama aliyeri sel ti Banya ward ti my town council ti Lira district.
Her name is Apio Vicky, a resident of Aling Risel, Banya Ward, Amach Town Council. She used it, actually she planted it in 3 acres of land.
Now Apio did not even have land. So when she got the 1 million, she hired 3 acres of land where she planted maize. Then she harvested maize, sold it, and bought those sheep you saw there. But interesting about Apio, she had been married for 20 years. She had never handled 1 million shillings in her life. And she has got adult children. Her children were now teenagers, voters. So this is the disaster you are building up. If Omwavu Nazarabavu, a poor person produces poor people, what sort of society are you building up? And the leaders don't concentrate on that. They are talking about other things. This is really a betrayal. So therefore, number one, wealth and jobs in the homes. And the solutions are there. PDM is there, Emioga is there. The job of we, the leaders, is Okorondora to follow up, arrest the thieves who are stealing this money, make sure that all the people in the whole, because if we give 1 million in a parish, 100 million in 5 years, we shall have covered 500 families. In the 3rd year, the ones who got first pay back. And in the exchange, they will have paid 3 times. So even if we maintain the 100 million in 5 years, we shall have 800 million shillings in the parish. And it will cover 800 homes. But I am going to add, in the Kisanja, I'm proposing that we add 15 million shillings per parish or per ward for the leaders, so that they can also borrow separately without conflicting with the wananchi. So that's number one. Please, let's not have poor people in the villages. Let's use government programs to get people out of poverty. They can get out of poverty. Because I saw it in the cattle corridor, I saw it myself. We did it. Now the second one, under C, is health, theft of drugs. The other part of health is working very well, the immunization is doing very well, but the theft of drugs. Giving testimony. Where the children are giving testimony.
Erinnya eryange nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ng'anviira erinnya eryange nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ng'anviira mu disitulikiti y'e Butambala. Najja wano nze Musoke Bale Geoffrey ng'anviira mu disitulikiti y'e Butambala. Najja wano nga ndi green, totally green, nga sirina kye mmanyi. Nali nsomyeko paka mu siniya ey'okusatu, naye olw'okutaataaganyizibwa kw'abazadde saasobola kweyongerayo. Ne ntandika okupakasa.
That is now the testimony of all these children. They all dropped out of school because they could not afford school fees. Now, when I trained them just for 6 months, you show them what they are doing. Show us some of the products they are doing. Just 6 months. All those are products of your people who had become hopeless. But 6 months. Now, I started these skilling hubs in my normal guerrilla way. Because when I try to advise people, they refuse, I go to the bush. That's what I did. The skilling hubs are my bush. Because I've been trying to persuade the powers in Uganda to give free education to our children. They have been refusing. Head teachers, I don't know who, PTA. Now I said, okay, if you have refused, let me, where I have some authority, where I don't have to beg and negotiate, let me start these skilling jobs. I started them. They are free education. The children come, they don't pay anything. They study 6 months, you see what they are doing. And yet what I'm doing is more expensive than what you people should be doing. Because these hubs are zonal. You find one hub in Ankole, one hub in Teso. So the children must be in boarding. I have to keep them in boarding, feed them, and so on. While the UPE, USE are supposed to be day schools, where they study and go back home, so that you don't have the costs of sleeping and eating and all that. So please, the issue of education is free education. In the coming Kisanja, we must really struggle and ensure that it is implemented. Now, Then the other issue, number 5, are the roads. The roads, some of the roads are good, but some are in a bad situation. The tarmac roads, there was some under-budgeting which crept in and bad planning. Some of the tarmac roads have not been repaired in time, like the one of Museveni Fort Portal, Museveni Mitiana, even the one of Bunduwijo, even the one of, we have identified those roads, we are now going to work on them. But the problem was bad planning in the Ministry of Works, but also bad budgeting. The pressures you bring must have a new district. Now. We must have a city status. Now, what is the point of having Fort Portal city, but the road to the city is in a bad situation? What planning is that? Even my people in Kabale now have been putting pressure on having Kabale city. But we have the road from Muhanga, Rwamchuchu, Kisizi, Kebsoni, Rubari, not worked on. Why can't we agree? Because a good road covers everybody. It covers the farmer, covers the political people, covers the students. The city may benefit some people, or a new district, some chairman and so on. So this is where we need to harmonize on the prioritization of plans. There could also be some corruption, which we are studying, especially for the Maram roads. I don't see why the Maram roads are not done. So that is another area we must ensure that there is no compromise now. The roads, tarmac roads must be maintained on time. Whatever, any sacrifice we need to do must be done. So the road, because they affect everybody. The Maram road is the same, must be maintained all the time in good motorable condition. That is number 5. Water for drinking. I'm glad that Biarhanga was talking about that one. That's number 6. Land grabbing. I'm glad somebody talked about it. I heard somebody talking about it. Land grabbing. We're going to fight that. That is now C. Now D is irrigation. Biarhanga touched a bit on it. We have got our scientist, Dr. Muranga. She has got, I gave her land in Bushenyi, government land, and she has got a wonderful facility there. Let's see what she's doing there.
This is where our model plantation is. Plantation, which you've had, we've already gone beyond 50 tons of yield per hectare per year. Matoke is very important part is water, but especially in the dry season. So here we are using irrigation, drip irrigation, as you can really see, using water, especially in the dry season. Drip irrigation, the advantage with it is that it sends water where it is required. PBD does not depend on national water. We make our own water, which we pump every day. 90% of the water is used for irrigation, and the other 10% is processed for use in pilot plant and estate residential areas. This farm, as per NEMA allows us to use a third of the water flow. But in the dry season, we even just use 12%.
Now there you can see a number of things. First of all, that wonderful banana garden, where Dr. Muranga is producing 53 tons per hectare. The Banyankore nearby are producing only 5 tons per hectare. Muranga now is producing 10 times more than those Banyankore nearby. Why? Because she's irrigating and she's using fertilizers. So irrigation is very crucial. You can see the weather is not reliable. This is supposed to be a wet season, but the rain is coming, going, coming, going. It's very risky. We need to shift to irrigation. In this coming Sunday, you will see we are going to do a lot of work to do irrigation. Now, finally, I want to talk about the youth, our youth. They are very bad people in newspapers like The Monitor, of course, from international, who give messages to our young people which need to be helped. They try to make our young people only concentrate on pleasure, ebinyumo, chi. Now, I want to inform you that the one who is standing here is a former younger person. And I will show you my picture when I was a young person, if they can show it for me. No, not that one. That one will come later. That picture there, it's a newspaper of 1968. That is my picture there. I was 23 years old or something. So if you are looking for a young person, there's one there. So people don't say, young person. Yes, you are talking to a former younger person. This was now 1968. And we had come back from Mozambique. We had gone as a student delegation to Mozambique to support the Mozambican struggle against colonialism. See, we were young. And we liked, once in a while we would go to Ebinyumo to dance, to so on and so forth. Because you know I'm also a rapper. The other day I was rapping. But at the same time, we had to struggle for our people. Because that time, the whole of Mozambique was under colonial rule. The whole of Angola was under colonial rule. Zimbabwe, South Africa itself, Namibia. So, if we had just concentrated on pleasure, which is what some of these people push our young people towards, where would we be? If you go to South Africa now, I hear there are 1 million Ugandans in South Africa. When did they go to South Africa? After we, the young devotees, had liberated it with Mandela. That's when they go there to enjoy and plan bad things from South Africa. These opposition groups. They don't struggle, they just want to go and enjoy but also spoil. So therefore, the young people, please, young is biology, but you need ideology. We were young here. And we were together with Mwalimu, who was older than us. Mwalimu was like in his almost 50s that time. We were with Mandela. Young, but working with elders who had the same ideas as ours. There were other young people, even in the university. The same university were the young people who had different ideas. For instance, I remember we had some little clash with my brother Ogora the judge. He was on the other side. He was always, they had organized something which we didn't agree with. We had to have a showdown. So, you are young, but where do you stand ideologically for Africa? Because we are saying, number one, love Uganda. Other people say, no, don't love Uganda, love your tribe. Where do you stand? You young man, young woman. We are saying, love Africa, because you need it. What do you say yourself? Are we right? Are we wrong? I'm young. You are young. Where would you be if you don't have a country? And so on. Now, but I'm also lucky because I have all the generations. Mom and myself, they say they are following European things, that we are boomers. There was a generation in Europe called boomers, the ones who were born during the Second World War or after, and then other groups. But there are other groups, like my children, are Generation X, apparently. The Moses is the what? Then the millennials. You have heard of all those groups? Millennials, the ones who turned 18 in 2000. Then the Gen Z, Generation Z. Now we have Generation Alpha now, the young ones. So please, especially Mama, the one of education, we need to help our children know how to be ready to protect this country. Because we are talking of defending the gains and taking a qualitative leap. But it must be done by the young people who must know what they are doing. Fortunately, I have all these groups. I have the Generation X in my house, in my nuclear group. I have the Gen Z. You show them my Gen Zs now. This is where I spend time with my Gen Z now. Those are my grandchildren. In the cows. Why should I have a Gen Z who doesn't know about cows? Cows is what kept our people. The bananas, the crops. So please, our young people should not be misled by, I think these are, if you read the articles in Monitor, that Monitor is an enemy paper. Their job is to soften Africa. Of course, you remember they were promoting homosexuality. You remember? Those groups. So they want to destroy Africa culturally by rendering our children to be disoriented. Yes, I am a footballer. In fact, you have got a real problem with me. Because me, I am a footballer. I like football. I used to play football, but I had to forget about it and sort out Idi Amin and so on. I am a rapper. If you want me to swing you in walls, dance, swing you around and toss you around, I can toss you. But I am also a worker. We must have young people who work, who create wealth. Yes, they can have pleasure, but pleasure must be with or after work. So with these few words, it's now my pleasure to do what? I launched the manifesto now.
Another round of applause. Your Excellency, you are going to sign. Can somebody who is in charge make the preparations? Bring the dummy so that His Excellency the President, and will be accompanied by 6 people who have been selected as representatives with a specific reference. We shall have High Excellency the Vice President joining His Excellency the President. We shall have the Right Honorable Speaker. We shall have Alhaji Moses Shigongo representing the members of the Central Executive Committee. We shall have the Secretary General. We shall have the Prime Minister and Moses Byaruhanga representing the committee. Can you please move the Secretary General lead the team? Your Excellency, the Vice President, those 6 people will represent all of us who are here, so that, and all the generations are represented in the team that has been selected. There is also going to be a photo opportunity after this, and it's going to be by the members of SEC, members of the Central Executive Committee. They are going to join His Excellency the President after the signing for the photo opportunity. Ndele Troop, you know what you are supposed to do at this time. I don't want to. I didn't want to amend anything. What? I think so. It would be nice. Kumani. SFC, they gave me this list. They brought it. Remember, after. Yes. And Pepe Pool. They are legendary supporters are going to perform. I thought they are the village. They are not. Can we have the members of the Central Executive Committee joining His Excellency the President for the photo opportunity? Members of SEC that are seated this side. And they'll be joined by the Secretary General of PLU. Please. The members of the Manifesto Committee, are they here? The members of the Manifesto Committee, that's going to be the last photo opportunity.
We would like to take this special moment to thank the members of SEC and also ladies and gentlemen, may we rise for the anthems.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency and Mama, for this historic occasion. We are going to have some artists do the presentations, and at this time we shall invite Chameleon and Bebe Cool to do a presentation. As we see off His Excellency the President, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mama. And please resume your seats so that we conclude the meeting has gone. Chameleon and Bebe Cool. Before they come, can we have the announcement? Get a copy of the manifesto. Make sure members get a copy of the manifesto before you leave. The manifestos are going to be distributed. Those who have come here should go with a copy of the manifesto. Make sure you pick yourself a copy of the manifesto before you leave this place. We have an administrative announcement.
Are you ready?
You want me to be talking? It can't be. Muntwale. Ebyo wedda byolaba bye badde bigende